Good evening. I'd like to call the Town of Cedar Lake Board of Zoning Appeals, March 14, 2024 meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Riley?
Here.
Mr. Hunley?
Here.
Mr. Jackson?
Present.
Mr. Burnham?
Present.
Mr. Capura?
Present.
Mr. Austin?
Present.
Ms. Abernathy? Present. Ms. Hyduk is present.
Okay, the minutes have been distributed. If there's no questions or corrections on it, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion for the minutes instead.
Motion made by Mr. Burnham,
I'll second.
seconded by Mr. Hunley. Roll call, please.
Mr. Riley?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Burnham?
Yes.
Mr. Capura?
Yes, motion carries 7-0.
Five. Five. Five.
You said.
Oh, I'm at the wrong meeting.
Yeah, different board.
And I counted them too before I started. Okay, I'm corrected. Number one, Casa Bush LLC Development Variance, 8602 West 131st Avenue. Owner petitioner, Casa Bush LLC, 7310 Grand Avenue, Hammond, Indiana. Vicinity of 8602 West 131st Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana, 46303. This developmental variance is to allow the petitioner to install a 20-foot by 20-foot garage to be located approximately 2.5 feet from the east property line, 1 foot from the rear property line, 2.5 feet from the deck, and 7.5 feet from the existing house on a legacy lot. Do we have a petitioner?
He is present online via Zoom.
He's online?
Yes, sir.
Yes, hello.
Oh, will you state your name and address, please?
Yes, Michael Maciel, 7130 Grand Avenue, Hammond, Indiana, 46323.
And state your request.
Requesting to have a 20 by 20 foot garage built on the existing lot there in place of the shed.
In January, this was before the board when we was just, we were short a member. It tied at a 2-aye to 2-nay roll call in favor of the variance being granted. I talked with Mr. Austin about this sometime last month because it was a 2-2 vote. No action was taken. We waited for a fifth member to be appointed for this to be back in front of the board.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand is because if we only had 4 members here because one was absent, the vote would still count, right?
No action of the board may take place without 3 votes. You only had 2.
Okay,
So there was no action.
okay. Fair enough. Okay. Are there any demonstrators for or against this request? Come up and state your name and address, please.
Good evening. My name is Deborah Nelson. I live at 8605 West 131st Avenue, which is a property across the street and up the hill. I'm really a close neighbor. I have watched, this home. He's put a lot of time into it, a lot of money. But I just feel that that request being so close to that property line on the east side, with that neighboring home there, 2.5 foot from a property line, that's just a little too close on a 30-foot lot. That's basically what he's got there, and he's wanting to fill it with a 20-foot wide. So it really has no space with the adjoining neighbors. The house has been there forever, but like I said, that's awfully close. That's my big concern is the safety of the neighborhood. And in the event there's an event where, rescue has to come in, fire department or anything, it's just awfully close to the neighboring property. That's all I have to say. That's how I feel about that.
Okay, thank you. Any other demonstrators for or against? Any other administrators? Anybody online?
No, sir.
Okay. Comment is closed. Building department.
We recognize that it's close, but given that it's a legacy lot in an old part of town, a lot of that is closed and tied up in that area. We didn't have much by way of comment or concern on this one, other than if it was a like for like, the shed being replaced for the shed, it wouldn't have needed a variance because of the legacy lot overlay district.
So you're saying it's okay with the building department?
We didn't have many major comments when we looked at it back a few months ago. I even reviewed it again with an inspector today. He didn't have many comments to pass on.
Okay. Board members have any questions, discussion?
Mr. Montiel has his hand raised, sir.
Pardon?
The petitioner has his hand raised.
The petitioner wants to say?
To
The
talk.
petitioner is wanting to say something.
Okay, you can. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, so I had mentioned before in the past as well, the existing shed that is in place right now, the northeast corner of the shed is actually right up against the edge of the property line now as it stands. So putting the garage in will actually give it a greater variance than what's currently there from the shed.
And aren't you, going to flip this house? Isn't that your purpose?
Correct? It's still a home, yes, correct.
Yeah. Board members have any discussion?
Yeah, from what I remember when we did originally talk about this house, one was, can they get access to the backyard? Is there a way to get access backyard? On the west side of the house, there is access. There's not tons of room, but there is room. It's a tight area. He has, sir, is that a 4-bedroom house? Is he listening?
Actually, it's a 5-bedroom,
4 or 5-bedroom home, and he's putting on
4 bathrooms.
a 2-car garage. I mean, I understand if you can't medically get stuff in the backyard, but you can. I mean, it's a tight fit everywhere.
Okay, anybody else?
There's no easements going through the property or behind the property?
None that was shown on the platted survey that's included in your packet.
No, so I looked at the west side of the house. I mean, there's room. It's not tons of room, but there's room. I mean, it's tight down there regardless of what you do. And I know this gentleman, I remember him, he stopped building a house to sell it, but to have a sell value of it to put on for the next person that buys the house, I mean, one way or another, someone's gonna have to put a garage on there to put their stuff away.
But my concern is, we have a lot of these small lots, and at some point, we have to stop allowing structures on a lot that's not big enough. And this lot is not big enough for that 2-car garage. I went out there and measured it. The measurement is, the 30 feet is house to house. So I'm guessing both those houses are built on that lot line, on either side of it, if it's a 30-foot lot. Each house sits on the lot line. So I know that's no fault of his, but that's just the way that the houses were put in there. So we got to, as a board, in the future, we have to, stop this building sideline to sideline. He might have to put a 1.5-car garage instead of a 2-car garage. When people buy property in this town, they gotta realize there's small lots, that you're not gonna get 2-car garages on these lots. And you go in that neighborhood, a lot of them houses all of them have sheds. A lot of them don't have garages, because they know the lots aren't big enough for them. So that's why they're sheds and not garages. And that's my concern when we allow people to build almost lot line to lot line.
Okay. Ray, do you have anything?
No, I think it's just it's pushing those lot lines too much. It's a little tight in there. So, no, I'm good with it right now. It's a good sized garage.
The petitioner has another comment.
Okay, sir.
Yes, hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so, I know you guys are saying they're existing lot lines and they're close, but the property itself, the home itself is on one lot line, and the garage would be on the other partial, on the other lot. So, like I mentioned, the current condition of where the shed currently sits at, and the shed's actually a decent sized shed too as well, is butted up against the actual property line now. And what I propose is to bring it in actually to where it would be 2.5 feet off. So it would be giving a greater variance away from the neighboring adjoining property, not going closer to it.
What's the square foot of the shed right now?
I couldn't tell you exactly, but I want to say maybe 12 by 10.
124 feet?
120, because it's a 10 by 12.
5 by 10?
Anybody else have anything?
And I'm also not looking to build up higher than the home itself. It's gonna be one level. It's not gonna be multi-level type thing where I'm building on in addition to the home or nothing like that. And there's no parking as well in addition to this roadway. It's just the driveway, no street parking available.
Okay. Well, if there's no other discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
The decision for the board.
Pardon?
It's a decision for the board.
It's to allow the variance or not to allow.
It's just the vote.
Well, I still need a motion, right?
You do for a developmental variance determination.
Need a motion?
I make a motion to send it to the town council with a recommendation for approval.
It has to go to the council. You make the decision.
We make the decision, Jim.
Yeah, so you just allow the variance.
So your motion is to approve?
Yes.
Have a motion to approve by Mr. Hunley. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Is that with the findings of fact?
Look at findings of the fact.
Findings of fact, Jim? With the findings of fact?
Yes.
Yes, yes. And second by Mr. Burnham. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Riley?
No.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson?
No.
Mr. Burnham?
Yes.
Mr. Capura?
No. Motion fails, 3-2. Thank you. Number 2, Colbert, developmental variance, 10833 West 133rd Avenue. Owner, CWK Properties, Cedar Lake LLC, 7949 West 79th Street, Bridgeville, Illinois, 60455. Petitioner, Stephen Colbert, 828 Davis Street, Evanston, Illinois, 60201, vicinity of 10833 West 133rd Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Developmental variances to allow the petitioner to have parking in the front yard setback and a reduction in side yard setback on the eastern boundary to 7 feet for proposed new commercial business. Name and address, please.
Stephen Colbert, 828 Davis Street, Evanston, Illinois.
Okay, state your,
We're here to present our latest site plan. At the last commission meeting, we were, some opposition from the neighbor next door, where we were asking for on the east side of the property, the 7-foot variance. We have since revised our site plan to show the 15-foot setback, and show our building within compliance for that. And we're here to present that as the latest offering for our project. We're still looking at on the east side for the front yard, parking within the front yard setback on the east side of our property, sorry, the west side of the property. We've moved our building over to comply with what's required per the opposition we have from the neighbor.
okay. You, so that this side yard will be, 15 foot now?
Yes, yes. And we have an exterior cooler, which we've rotated, we work with Ashley on that, to make sure that we stay without that set, we're outside of that setback as well.
So actually, all you need, a variance on is the, front parking.
That is correct. And I feel very confident with adjusting our building over the 7 feet or so that we've done, that we still have truck access that we can do and all that kind of business. We feel very comfortable with the layout, so that's what we're gonna present to the commission tonight.
Okay, sounds good. Would you have a seat for a minute, and I'll, call for your administrators? Are your administrators for or against? State your name and address, please.
Larry Stinger, 10819 West 133rd Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. I'm looking at a copy of the old print. Obviously, you've made change. Appreciate you looking at that, because it makes more sense. The only thing I'm concerned is the discussion of the privacy fence. Is that going to go to the sidewalk? This was a discussion last time, too, and that was unknown.
As we stated, last time, is that once the permit is pulled for the fence, the building department will discuss where it goes to and where it should end.
Yeah, but somebody should know where it does before that. That should be answered right here.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
I'm not voting on the fence layout, I'm voting on
I
where the building
understand that.
placement is.
But what is the ordinance for that? Because it doesn't seem, when I asked the building department, they're not letting me know.
What's the ordinance for that?
Ordinance says that a fence cannot be in the front yard setback without a variance. The front yard setback on 133rd is a 50-foot front yard setback
So it has to end 15 foot from the property line.
without a variance, and going closer towards that road, where would be definitely concern about blocking vision triangles and impeding pedestrian and vehicular traffic entering and exiting from the
Okay.
entrance as well as.
Fair enough. So your sign that's gonna go on the corner of Osborne and 133rd is not impeding in the vision of 133rd and Osborne Street?
It is following the ordinance, which is a 10-foot minimum setback from either right-of-way line.
Okay, but that's not in the site view, like the fence would be?
No.
Okay, thank you. That's all I got.
Okay. Any other administrators for or against? Any other administrators for or against? Anybody online, Ashley?
No, sir.
Okay, comments closed. Take a step back up, sir. Building department.
So,
Go ahead.
one of the parking lots, or one of the parking spots at the back would need to go. Either the 12th one at the end on the southwest corner, or one of the employee parallel parking, because that is not, the town engineer and I are not comfortable with that, because it could potentially cause vehicular problems. As well as we want the dumpster, it needs to be facing east, for better flow of the garbage pickup.
Oh, because they're not gonna be able to get turned in
Right,
there to pick
so
it
the
up.
garbage dumpster is currently down here on
I
the
see that.
south boundary line. We want it on eastern facing west, so that when the garbage trucks come in to pick up, they have easier access. As well as either the bottom southwest corner here, where employee parallel parking number 1 here needs to go, because otherwise you're gonna have somebody who's gonna try and back up and they're gonna back into somebody's car.
Did you discuss that with you guys, or is this the first time hearing it?
It's the first time we're hearing that, but I understand exactly what the municipality is asking for, and we can make that happen.
Otherwise, with the shift, they are 2 over their required parking, so losing a parking space isn't going to impact them.
Okay, but moving that garbage, area is something to be brought up at the plan commission, not here right now.
It was just a comment that.
Yeah, okay, but we're not voting, all we're voting on here is the front setback parking, and you want them to lose 1 spot, right?
Yep.
that's okay with you?
Yes, we know we'll still be in compliance with that, so we're fine with that.
And which one do you prefer?
Is the one closest to the neighbor, is that the one you're talking?
No preference, it's just either this one back here, this one down here, or this one here. So either the first parallel parking spot for the employee, or the bottom southwest corner.
Probably
There's
the
no
first
preference.
one would be your best bet, because you need to go in there and turn, to get the truck in there to get rid of it.
Well,
The dog
the
garbage.
the reality is, with the municipal requirements, it's far more than we would ever need for this location, based on our experience with other operations that we have that are similar. So, we will work with staff to remove whichever one makes sense.
Do you need that in your motion?
Yes. That, we'll need in the motion that they will remove one parking spot to be discussed with the building department.
So it'll be on the south,
But that don't-
side of the park.
that-
Agreed, we can work with staff to make that happen.
That don't affect what we're giving them, because they're still gonna be at 15 feet. 'Cause for the other 11, they're sitting there, right?
Right, so.
So that 12-1, I mean-
The variance that we're
Our
not
motion
asking
is
for
to give
anymore.
the variance on the footage.
Right, we're not.
How many
asking for-
parking spots he's got there is not my concern.
Exactly, well, the
That's
variance,
him
the
between
variance
him
on
and
the
the building
east side,
Unless he's not meeting the ordinance, Jerry. He's not meeting the ordinance with the minimum number, then it is yours.
Well, and he's still meeting,
He meets it.
right.
They're
so
exceeding
if he
by
leaves it or
2%.
takes it out, it ain't gonna affect his minimum. But for us, we're just looking at the variance of front yard setback.
Correct. And the reduction of, on the east side that we've reduced,
Right, we're voting on the new plan he presented,
understood.
with the 15-foot on the
Correct.
east side.
Correct. The elimination of a parking spot should be brought up at the plan commission along with the, garbage disposal.
And we can work with staff on final layout of
Right.
that.
So
Certainly.
all we're concerned with right now is the front yard parking.
Yes,
So,
agreed.
Okay. Do we have any other comments on this? If not, then I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the development variance to allow petitioner to have a parking in the front yard setback and reduction in side yard setback on the eastern boundary of 7 feet proposed new commercial business to the findings of facts.
The reduction on side yard setback has been eliminated. They're meeting ordinance on the 15-foot
All right,
side
well
yard
then,
setback.
you can delete that then.
So the motion by Mr. Burnham is to approve the front yard parking.
setback.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Ruddy. With the finding of facts.
Yes.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Riley?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Burnham?
Yes.
Mr. Capora?
Yes, motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner.
you.
Everybody, thank you so much.
Thank you. New business, number one, Cook Builders, developmental variance, 13416 Cedar Street, owner Robert and Lindsay Jager, 11159 Elmwood Court, Mokina, Illinois, 60448. Cook Builders, 6919 West Lincoln Highway, Crown Point, Indiana, 46307, vicinity of 13416 Cedar Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. The developmental variance is to allow the petitioner to build a cupola on an existing house over the 25-foot high requirements for a height of 28 feet. Do we have a petitioner? Name and address, please.
Justin DeBoer, and 15103 103rd Avenue, in Dyer, Indiana.
Okay, state your request.
The request is to add a cupola to the top of the house that extends beyond the 25-foot height requirement by about 3 feet. The cupola is about a 10 by 10 approximate on top of the house that would extend above and have some windows around it to bring some additional light inside the house and add some character to the exterior of the house.
The purpose is just for sunlight,
It's purpose for sunlight, yes, that's the main purpose.
so there won't be any stairs up to it or anything like that?
Correct, no stairs.
So it's gotta be 10 by 10 though.
It's approximately 10 by 10, I don't have the exact stuff.
Okay. We have a seat for a minute, and I'll call, oops. No, you're fine. Are legals in order?
They are.
Good, I'm sorry, I forgot that.
You're good.
Are there any administrators for or against this request? Any administrators for or against? Anybody online?
No one online, nothing to say.
Okay, comments are closed. You can step back up, sir. Building department.
We had no concern with this. The only part that's exceeding the height variance, or the height restriction for the legacy lot overlay is that 10 by 10 space on the top. The rest of the house is complying with all legacy lot requirements.
Okay. Board members? Nothing? I thought, cupolas weren't counted for the height.
Those are not one of the ones that are an exception for the height. There are some height exceptions that we have in the zoning ordinance, that is not one of them.
Okay.
There's not a drawing or anything in this packet, right, that I'm missing of what it looks like, or no?
Yeah, it's down the bottom.
Bottom?
It's page 8.
Yeah, well, there's
8 and
drawings
9.
of the house with the cupola on top.
Okay, yep, I got it, thanks.
So where your house is at, it literally, the road goes right into your front of your house?
Correct.
So you don't have a neighbor behind you where this is gonna be, visual?
Right, yeah, there's no immediate neighbors that would have any visual impact.
I don't have any more questions.
Yeah, I looked up on the hill, and there's no houses, you know, the hill would be high enough to see over these. I mean, there's houses down there taller than that now. A couple of them are probably taller than that. So I have no problem, I didn't see obstructions or anything.
Jim, you have any comments? No? Ray, you're good?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Erica's all right? I'll entertain a motion.
I will make a motion to approve the variance to allow the petitioner to build a couple on the existing house over 25 feet height requirements for a height of 28 feet to the findings of the fact.
Motion made by Mr. Burnham to approve,
So second?
second by Mr. Jackson. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Riley?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Burnham?
Yes.
Mr. Capura?
Yes, motion carries 5-0.
The only thing I'm concerned about, calling it an existing house, when I went down there, it was only one wall.
It is going up.
They do already have a permit for the rest of the
I'm sure they do got a permit, it would've been able to start, it was just funny when I went over there and, pictures I got, the house was gone already.
Number 2, James, variance of use, 13328 Edison Street, owner Alexander Lou, 1600 North 15th Terrace, Hollywood, Florida, 33020. Petitioner Michael James, 16901 Thatchery Avenue, Oak Forest, Illinois, 60452, vicinity of 13328 Edison Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana, 46303. This variance of use is to allow the petitioner to convert a single-family home into a 2-unit building. This would be for approval to, or non-approval to town council, correct?
Developmental variance.
No, it's not, it's a variance. No, it's a
Variance of
variance.
use?
No, it's developmental variance, it's yours.
It's a variance of use.
Plus, again,
Says variance of use.
Yep.
I see in requesting a developmental variance in the middle of the ad.
Now, according
No,
to the sheet, it's a variance.
there are
of
2
use.
variances being sought.
Oh, there is?
You see it in the middle of the ad, should be in your first item in your package, the, item says that.
All right.
That was my error. I made
Okay.
sure the rest of it said variance of use, I must have missed that one, that portion.
Okay, so it's a developmental variance.
No, it's a variance of use request. They're requesting the use of a RT use in an R2 zoning district.
Okay. So we're voting yes or no to the town council.
Part of it. Part of it. You have, first of all, the ad's wrong, if, what we just, for the request being made. And they're looking for 2 homes in 1 residential property. So that's a duplex or a 2-family or 2-unit or whatever.
Okay, state your name and address, please.
Jennifer James, 16901 Zachary, Oak Forest, Illinois, 60452.
Okay, and state your request.
We're requesting, the building was originally built as a multi-unit with 2 families living there. The previous owner remodeled it. He only finished 1 unit. He started the 2nd unit, and then decided he would rather invest in California. So it was marketed to us as a 2-unit, that we still had to fix the 2nd unit. So this is what we're asking for permission, because I'm told now it's an R2, I believe. So we need to know if we can actually finish the 2nd unit, make it back into a multi-unit property.
Are there 2 units in there now?
There's 1, in the 2nd one, they got it where it's just framework and electric, but it's not livable right now.
And where is that one, above it, or?
No, they have the 1st floor is all completely done, this one is the lower level, but it is a walkout basement.
Actually, was that a non-conforming 2-unit back in the day, that I take it, or wasn't?
County lists it as a duplex, but in 2012, a building permit was pulled to convert it into a single-family residence. I included that in the packet to you all to show that that's when it was.
Mm-hmm.
Her referencing it being converted back into a 2-unit, we have no building permit for that, so that tells me that work was done without a permit.
Mm-hmm, okay.
So was the original one where there was a permit pulled, was the project completed and signed off?
That was, and the 2nd tap was eliminated when that was done, so there's only 1 sewer bill for this property.
How long ago was it 2?
He converted it in 2012, was when it was converted into a single family.
And
So
the
it's been
project,
12 years.
and the project was finished? And then, ma'am, how long have you owned the property?
We're actually in the process of buying it right now. When it was marketed to us, it was marketed as, multi-unit, so we currently don't own it. We're in the process of getting the loan from the bank, and the bank needed, reassurance before they could sign off on our loan that we can legally put it back into a 2-unit, so that's why I'm here. I spoke with Ashley, and she told me the route to go about it.
Who is the owner of the house right now?
Currently Alex Liu.
She lives in Florida.
Oh, you,
Sorry, read on here.
he lives in
He
Florida?
lives in Florida,
Yeah.
that's why I'm here.
So your loan is contingent upon the 2-unit being approved?
Yes. Because if we can't convert it back to a 2-unit, then we would just purchase it as a single family. But what we're trying to do is, my son wants to live in 1 unit and rent the other unit out to my other son. So it's more like a related living is what we're trying to do, but we still need it to be legal for 2 separate units.
Okay, we have a seat for a minute, and, I keep forgetting to ask for legals. Legals in order?
Legals are good, except for the clarification needed when you make a motion for taking action related to the petition. I don't want to confuse anybody, I don't want to confuse myself. Part of the ad says what it says. It says it's the variant developmental standards, and the other is, the other description is variance of use. It sounds like it's all about a variance of use.
That is correct, the developmental variance was my portion. I managed to have somehow skip over that when I was creating the advertisement.
That's
My
right,
error.
court can clean that up in their act.
Okay, let me call for administrators. Are there any administrators for or against? State your name and address, please.
Dina Blatt, 6924 West 134th Avenue, Cedar Lake.
I live right across from there, they've been sending me stuff. And if you look up the police records, single families that live there have numerous police calls over there. If you make it into a double, we're gonna have even bigger problems. And I'm sick of the police coming over there constantly.
So do you recall this incident was on the original homeowner that owns it?
The original homeowner, I've been out there probably since 2010, has always been a single-family home. When they redid it, they took out the stairs going down to the basement. Because I've been in it. And I was in it after it was done. So,
Ma'am, you've never lived in the house, though?
No, it's been vacant.
so if you put two families in there, it's just asking for trouble.
There's no multi-use homes on that entire street?
No. Where?
The 4-unit is right, backs up right next to the 4-unit that's on the block behind it,
That's an apartment building.
on Lamar. Well, that's multi-unit, that's what he's asking you.
Oh, it's not on my block. That's a block over.
Okay,
'Cause if you pull the police report, you can see that house and the one next to it, it's got a shutdown order on it, constantly have the police.
but I would have to say the police report has nothing to do with this lady who's trying to buy it, because she isn't creative.
Well, I was telling her not to buy it, I'm telling you. I'm warning you, I'm telling you.
Yeah, well,
Because eventually
okay,
she will sell it, and then there'll be two families in there, and I'm planning on staying here until I die, so.
Okay. I appreciate it,
All right,
thank you.
don't let it out.
I understand,
I'm
but I have
telling you.
2 more on that same block, so that's why we're
Yeah.
trying to do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Any other administrators for or against?
You could also get two very nice neighbors too.
Yeah?
I ain't got one yet. The one she rented to now, this guy.
Good evening, Terry Broaders, 14513 Morris. I just have one comment based on public safety. I heard a couple of things that I think everybody should be concerned about. One being that the staircase has been removed from the interior, obviously to separate one into make 2 units. But if it's just a walkout, and then will we have enough egress to make it a legal apartment? Thank you.
Any other administrators? Anybody online?
No one online, nothing received.
Public comments closed. You can step back up, ma'am. What does the building department have to say?
We have concerns about it being converted back into a 2-unit. It's meeting all code requirements, including means of ingress and egress, fire separation between the 2 units. Because all the duplexes that are built today, all the multi-families that are built today, we require a specific level of fire separation for safety for both units. How are they gonna make sure that there's proper fire separation between the 2 floors, because it's gonna be an upstairs unit and a downstairs unit? How are they gonna make sure that there's proper ingress and egress out of all the 3 bedrooms that they're proposing? Additionally, the house is only 1,125 square feet. Is it gonna fit? Is it gonna fit all code requirements? So, the building department is not in favor, and we're not comfortable with it.
I asked a question on, parting wall or between the floors or what have you.
There would have to be fire separation
Yeah.
built into it, because, again, anytime there's more than 1 unit, there has to be some form of fire separation.
Correct.
You know, if something happens and there's not that, then
Is there access from upstairs to the lower unit?
There is an interior staircase. When you come in the side door from upstairs, there is a staircase with 2 separate doors that go downstairs, as well as there's 1 door in the back. To get into the basement unit, our plans were, we're gonna build a second door, like at the bottom of that other interior staircase, for a second exit out, and I've already spoke with Ashley about the egress windows for the bedrooms. So there would be 2 exits. We're talking about fireproof ceiling material, as well as the fireproof doors and everything to help with, keeping it separate just in case anything did happen.
Well, my concerns are what Ashley brought up, and it's R2 now, and I would prefer if we have R2 residencies, we keep it at R2 with no variances. But we have other board members that You know, any discussion, Ray, anything?
What kind of parking's over there if you're gonna do a multi-unit? What do you have for parking?
It's just a gravel lot, it's at the dead end of the street, it's the last property on that block, and it's just all, the road and the driveway is all gravel.
And you already own some units in that area, you said?
Yes, I own the one on the corner and the one right behind that on Lamar as well.
Okay.
I'm also trying to buy the one right next to it that's completely gutted right now, but the guy's asking outrageous price for it.
You don't want that house. You don't want that house.
Quiet.
Like I said, we're just trying to do it to make it into units for both my sons to move out here. My youngest son already moved out here, so we're all just trying to move from Chicagoland area out here, so.
Jim, do you have anything?
I was just thinking, there's 2 units, 2 cars a unit, is there room for 4 cars there at park?
Yes, there is.
Jerry?
I don't think it's big enough. It's just too small of a building for a 2-unit.
The building square footage is 1125, that's just the first floor, the basement would also be 1125. So the total building is actually almost 2,300 square feet. And the upstairs is already completely done, it's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, kitchen and living room upstairs.
Eric?
Oh, I'm good, I got mine.
Carmen?
I'm good.
You're good?
Hmm?
So, let me understand, this was never permitted to be a 2-unit?
It was built, when does the auditor's report card say? It was built in the 1900s prior to the town's incorporation as a duplex. How it was worded, I don't know. But they still show it as a duplex according to the report card. However,
In 2012,
in 2012,
it was issued a permit.
it was issued a permit to convert it into a single family. Again, the second sewer was eliminated with that, so if approved, if given by both this board and the town council, there would have to be the $4,000 reconnection or tap fee paid. They would have to then show how they're going to run that second sewer and second meter there. And we're gonna need some really good plans to show that they're gonna happen, all new upgraded mechanics for both units, making sure that they're meeting all building code requirements. It's a pretty hefty task.
Okay, any other discussion?
Is somebody living in there now then?
No, it's currently vacant. The other people that live on that block, her house burnt down. She was actually living in the top unit while they rebuilt her house. Now that she's finally done, she moved out, so it's completely vacant.
Okay.
So a house on the street that you own burnt to the ground?
No, the one next to mine. I own the one on the corner. The one next to mine is the one that burnt down. So then she moved into this one that we're here about today.
Anything else?
No.
And I'll entertain a motion.
Well, there's 2 motions you need, right?
Well, we'll need a motion for use variance, and we need a motion to
2 units.
make it into a duplex.
Correct.
So let's take the duplex first. I need a motion for, developmental variance motion to convert this property into a duplex, so to walk out living space in the basement.
I'm just up in there, you know, at one time it was a duplex. It's, the tax record's listed as a duplex. The gentleman that owns this house, that she doesn't own, he went and pulled a permit.
No,
Or no?
he never pulled a permit.
Oh, so this guy was-
Her saying that it was being converted back into a 2-unit.
So the person before this guy took it and made it a single-family home the correct way, and the new owner decided he was gonna do this on his own and never pulled a permit to make it a duplex.
Okay, so it's mixed up a little bit. I'm actually personal friends with the current owner, Alex. When Alex purchased it, it was marketed to me and Alex originally as a 2-unit. So the previous owner, obviously from 2012, I know he changed it to a single family.
Single, yeah.
But when we went to purchase it, when Alex purchased it, the realtor said that it was a 2-unit, and the previous owner had already started making the second unit back downstairs. He had just did it for one, but then he was already starting to build a second unit in it. So I don't know who the other owner is. I mean, I can't speak for him, but that's why Alex bought it, and now, you know, my son wants to move out here, so that's why. I mean, I understand for 112 years it was a 2-unit, this guy changes it, but then we're still building a second unit, and we're just trying to do it the right way, that's why I'm here, so.
Well, right now, it's listed as a single unit, one tax bill, one sewer tap.
One sewer tap. According to town's record, it is a single family.
Okay, I need a motion for, developmental variance to convert this to a duplex.
No, variance of use.
Pardon?
Variance of use.
I didn't hear that.
Variance of use.
To change it to allow.
Change of use, right, going to a.
From an R2 to an R.
No, it's saying R, but it won't have a single-family home on it, it'll have 2-unit. That's what the prohibition is when you read the R2, part of the zoning ordinance.
Okay.
So I need a motion on that.
The variance of use, recommendation to the town council,
This will be?
yes.
So I'm gonna make a motion for unfavorable variance use. I'm like declining
Findings.
to the findings of the fact. That's the first one, right?
It looks like that's the only one.
Okay. Motion by, Mr. Burnham to send it unfavorable to the town council, this request, for the finding of facts. Do I have a second?
Dave, you got a question?
I wanna make sure this is clear, this was not very clear. The notice that set up this public hearing, which we talked about at the beginning and had the developmental variance on it and then the use variance on it, is not the same as is in your agenda. Your agenda is correct. The notice says more than it needs to, so it's not a harm, there's no harm, no error, no problems with that. But I want you to know the clarity that the two documents have. So you're acting on the correct thing right now.
Okay. So here again, I have a motion by Mr. Burnham to send it unfavorable to the town council. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Riley. Any questions? Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Riley?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Burnham?
Yes.
Mr. Capora?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Denied. Sorry.
No,
It's not denied.
goes to the council.
It goes to.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. We just said,
My mistake. I'm sorry, I'm full of mistakes tonight. Now it goes to the town council, so I don't know when they'll be at that.
Probably the first one in Tuesday, the first meeting in April, the first Tuesday of the month.
Okay, and you should appear at that, and then you can plead your case again to the town council. And if they feel that you have a good case and what have you, they could overturn our decision.
They have the final decision.
Is this back here as well?
yes.
Okay. First
Yeah,
Tuesday?
back in this room on, first Tuesday of, next
April.
month.
Okay,
I'll
thank you.
send you an email with the date and time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Public comment? Any public comment? Anybody online?
Last I checked, no one was on. Nope, just us.
Okay, does board members have any comments?
Nope.
When do I get my file?
Need Bob?
Whenever. Call me when you get one for me.
Yep, absolutely.
Cliff's probably on the line, we can order it right now.
I just have one quick update item. I forgot to get it on your agenda, my apologies. This starts the 3-month countdown for the Cedar Lake storage variance that we granted back in September. They have, what was it? No, it wasn't last September. Last year, this starts the 3-month countdown. They have been compliant so far with all requirements, sending me all their pictures. They have been notified that the 3-month countdown has started, making sure that they are taking care of that phase 2 parking.
So they're paving that.
They should be as soon as plants open, I hope. but they have been told that they need to get it done because that expires, June 15th by way of planning commission vote.
Okay. The next Board of Zoning Appeals meeting will be April 11th, 2024 at 6 PM in here. We're adjourned.